get on. I'd like to discuss a topic today that's probably on point for quite a few dog owners out there, especially those of you who are still using a long line. I use a long line with Tally here quite frequently. I've been working with her quite a long time, and when you're experiencing difficulties with recall training or just general safety, that long line is absolutely pertinent. However, here's the point. Long line is not a substitute for what the dog is doing right in front of me right now. Now, she's staying relatively close, but they need free movement. They need to exercise their body that way. That is absolutely crucial for them, that they're able to move as come on, that they're able to move as dogs should move, that they're able to explore and hunt as dogs should hunt. Tally, here, atta gal, get on. And that they're able to exercise that behavior rather than just exercise themselves physically. Now, long line training in some places is absolutely crucial. Absolutely it is. There's no doubt about that. But we must not stay there at that level. That level is purely a management and training level that we want to go beyond. Now, understandably, there are environments where you may not be able to trust your dog's behavior, that you may not have a degree of reliability within that behavior, and I get that. That's fair enough. Like you, I also manage the situation, but I do go out of my way to choose environments that support the physical and mental well-being of the dog. I will go well out of my way to choose a place where she can freely exercise and be a dog. It's important that she can be a dog, and I'm very focused on that when I do take her out. She was really buried in her nose today. She was really enjoying the environment here. It's such a lovely place here. We've been coming here for quite a while. I have another 2 or 3 locations where she does get off, sometimes for limited periods of time, but there is no substitute for free running. Now, run free fields, yes. Can they be beneficial? Absolutely they can, but they do not beat a rich habitat where your dog has a need to hunt in its own way, to explore in its own way, and just be a dog in its own way. The richer the habitat, the more that dog will get from it, and that's important for a dog. Tally, come on. It's really important to me that a dog gets that in its development. There is no substitute. Long line training, yes, it will give your dog some more room. Yes, it will get a lot more range of motion from the behavior. But does it beat being off lead, discovering new places, exercising its senses for all it's worth? No, it's not even a close second. I've gone from where I keep Tally and pick her up. That's about 7 miles away from here. Now, I will go out of my way. I usually go as much as 10 or 11 miles to discover places where I can take her. We can do a bit of training. We can be together. That's very important. Building the relationship, and she can get to explore new habitats. Now, I don't find a new location and then just let her off lead. She is on the long line for a couple of visits to that place anyway. No doubt about that. Just so I can really get a good assessment through my observations of how she engages with that environment, and I can also find out what that environment holds in terms of wildlife and what surrounds that environment. So it's really important to me that I've got a good map in my brain. Atta gal. Atta gal. And I can start to trust some behaviours and let her off and get her to follow me in a few places. Tally, come! Atta gal. Get on then. I also love watching her. This is a relatively safe place. It's quite wild. There are other dog walkers here, but I have, with the exception of going into that deep woodland ahead there, which I'm going to, I can see what's in the distance, so nothing's going to take me by surprise. I know when to get her back on the lead or on the line. She's really interested since we come up that trail there of something that's in there. It could be fox, badger, deer, anything like that. There she's rolling in something there. Up! Come on! Atta girl. But for her well-being, she needs this. I can tell even after the walk. Picking her up, she combusts. She's full of energy, she's full of exuberance, displays little self-control. So I do ask for some self-control. Before we venture out, I like to go into the car calmly, I like to arrive calmly, I like to have her on the long lead for a while, not too long, 10 minutes or so, before I let her off. And this releases all that pent-up energy, all that stress. And dogs who are continuously on a long line will experience stress through only being on the long line, as will the owner. Controlling a powerful dog in a long line is a job in itself. It's a task and a half, and if you have anything bigger, say, than a Springer Spaniel upwards, some small breeds can give you a real run for your money in terms of their strength and their power in managing them on a long line. But they are dying to get off and explore. They are dying to see what the environment holds. And working with the recall in those areas, building it up, learning to trust it in a place that you can trust it, that's very important for them. But long line training, yes, it's a great training tool. It's a great management tool. And there are do's and don'ts with long line training. I will cover them in other videos. But as I say, we must not stay there. The line must not be the only connection or attachment that we have between us and our dog. It's very important that we have a mental attachment. It's very important, though, that your dog's needs are met. Otherwise, your training will hit a wall. There's no doubt about it. Training only goes so far if the dog is not allowed to be a dog. If the dog's real needs are not met, you will get below par responses to your training. Training must be coupled with life experience, meeting your dog's needs, supplying it with what it wants, and working with all that in mind towards what you want. So she's venturing on there. I'm just going to test her with a recall. Tally, come! Atta girl! Come on in! Come on in! Come on in. Atta gal. Atta gal. That's my girl. That's my girl. Yes. Atta gal. Get on. I don't ask for too many recalls. I do not pepper the dog with recalls, but we do them regularly, frequently, and when they matter, by and large, they are good. By and large, that means that it's always a work in progress. And if you only commit to using a long line, you will always have a work in progress that is not able to go any further. So we need some type of control, good control, when a dog is disconnected from us by equipment. We need that mental connection there. Now she's just disappeared into one of those gradients there, so I'm just going to give her a verbal here. Tally! Oh, she's there, she's there. I saw movement in the far tree. Tally, come! And of course that's where the deer reside. Tally, come! Come, come, come! Atta gal. That's my girl. Come on in. Come on in. Good. Come on in. Get on. So folks, there you are. Substitutes versus freedom. There are many substitutes. Keep your dog on the lead. Keep the dog on a long line. Even training the dog on a long line, it becomes a crutch for us after a certain amount of time. It's a very useful tool. I'm a full advocate for proper, appropriate use of a long line. But as I say, if we are to progress, if we have the dog's well-being in mind, we must not stay there. But it means going out of your way, likely in many cases for the owner, to find an appropriate place where they can introduce their dog to and then work towards off-lead training, close quarter check-ins and recall. I hope that's helpful from the beautiful countryside of Perthshire. There she's there, just peeking out. Have a great day, folks.